The Underworld Saga.
Underworld.
All I hear are screams. Every time I dare to close my eyes, I no longer dream. Only nightmares of those who've died. Nothing's what it seems. Nothing's what it seems. And here in the underworld, the past seems close behind.
Sorry, I was just saying generally people would die when you do stupid shit. When you piss off a multitude of gods, like he's about to. Sorry, I just dropped my phone on my face.
I told you it was gonna keep coming back.
Again, but like, when does the world become a monster? When the gods demand it, so.
Captain, why would you let the Cyclops live when ruthlessness is mercy?
This life is amazing when you greet it with open arms. Whatever we face, we'll be fine if we're leading from the heart. No matter the place where we can light up the world, here's how to start. Greet the world with open arms. Greet the world with open arms.
So, the only thing that kind of bugs me is that it's mentioned quite a lot in historical writing, but it's never mentioned in modern day tellings or renditions or whatever. But when you go to the underworld, you become a shade. You don't have a physical, like, you don't have a face, you don't have a body type. You just become like everything else. You become a shadow of a former being. The only thing you have are your memories, which you can't mention because even speaking just becomes a jumbled garble of language that never existed, because you're now speaking the language of the dead.
Yeah, but that still fucks with the Odyssey because he's still going to, or like peering into the underworld because he's trying to contact the dead prophet.
Which is unique because the dead prophet in of itself isn't a person. So prophets aren't necessarily people. Prophets inadvertently aren't people. They are vessels for their god's will, thus making them something other than human. They're not demigods. They're technically greater than human, but also lesser than, because they're in service of both the gods and mortal man. Which is generally why people actually respected, like, the Prophet of Delphi, or things, or those sorts of roles, because they understood that the gods were putting their words into this mortal, and this mortal was giving it to them.
So what you're telling me is you're also gonna fucking hate Hades because Hades portrays some of the higher Olympic heroes within Hades not being fucking shades.
Yeah, kinda. So again, the other issue is demigods aren't human. All mortal men, and that's the thing, is all mortal men are the same in the eyes of the gods. That kind of comes down to the purpose of the underworld as well, is that all mortal men are exactly in the eyes of the gods. And this particular god doesn't see mortal men. This god sees only their souls, and because their souls don't have a physicality, when they go through the underworld, they don't have shape the same way that we do now. So if I was to die right now, this is how everyone portrays the undead and heaven and shit now, but 2,000 years ago they didn't. We gotta look at it through the lens of history, motherfucker.
I mean, didn't even fucking what's his face who even wrote the fucking Odyssey literally say he showed up?
Who?
The fucking prophet.
again, the prophet isn't necessarily human, so that's fine.
This is
They are mortal with a modicum of divinity. That in of itself grants them different capabilities from humans.
fuck
But in this case, he wouldn't see he wouldn't see his friend. He would see his friend's shade, like his friend's shadow.
he would
he
still
would
fucking hear their voices and be able to attribute them.
Not really, because again, the language of the dead isn't one intelligible to the living. Again. No, so
Fuck you, she's in the water, Leafy. She doesn't remember it anymore.
So you pause this now. Okay, so that there that you just said is interesting. Like I mentioned previously in an episode of History with Hubby, drinking the waters of the River Lethe is actually how you're reborn. The other thing is like, okay, so let me rephrase it. Knowing who a shade is more so instinctual than it actually is knowing who they are. So if I was to go right now, and then you went into the underworld to find me, you'd find a shade. You'd know it's me, but I wouldn't look like me. I wouldn't sound like me. I wouldn't say anything that you could understand. Even if you could understand the dead, you wouldn't understand what I was saying. I wouldn't walk like I would normally. I wouldn't talk like I would normally. I wouldn't do anything you'd expect me to.
And then I would fall into a Eurydice fucking story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I would try and get your ass out and then probably end up fucking turning around, to be honest.
Because that's the version of the story I know, is that he thought he heard his wife say something intelligible, so realized they must be out the cave, and turned around when he shouldn't have.
I thought she tripped.
Again, there's so many versions of the story. There's one that just tries to make Hades out to be the bad guy, where he tricked him into turning around.
I mean, to be honest, I've heard like ones where it's just like Hades said it because even he wouldn't be able to do that with Persephone.
What do you mean?
To walk that far and that long without like turning around for Persephone, because it's like a show of love.
Yeah, so that's kind of why Hades did it. It's like he ordered that he do it to genuinely prove to Hades that he loves this woman like Hades loves Persephone. Because Hades probably could, but he also is fully aware that to some degree no mortal can love another mortal the way that Hades loves Persephone. So it's kind of a bit of a trick situation. He turned around because he thought he was in the clear.
You get fucked.
Hades.
You get fucked either situation.
Yeah. So like he turned around because he thought he heard his wife, and Hades is known to keep his promises.
Yeah.
That's Hades' entire thing, is he keeps his promises. So he did promise he'd kill him, and I feel like that's something that both broke Hades' heart, but also...
I thought he didn't kill... He didn't kill him, because he ended up writing songs about how much he ended up fucking hating music and shit afterwards. And then he died of basically heartbreak, because he couldn't see her ever again until he died. Yeah,
so that's one tale. The other tale is that he wasn't quite trapped in the So, the idea of marriage up until it basically became a method of control with modern day religions. The idea of marriage was that you inexuberantly tie your soul to another being.
I feel like, ironically, this is talking about the wrong musical.
Yeah, but, like, it's... I have to talk about it, because, like, it does play a part in... It plays a part in modern media for the Underworld. So, like, the original concept of marriage is that yes, there was divorces in ancient Greece, like I've mentioned 100 times. The way to divorce in ancient Greece was to send your wife back to her father's house. But that was rare. Incredibly rare.
I was just making a joke because there is a musical called Hadestown that's just Eurydice's story.
The entire point of marriage, and this is why Hera gets so jealous, is because you so deeply tie your soul to one person that you're supposed to find yourself incapable of loving another. So Zeus goes out, fucks, marries, and rapes multiple women, and Hera's just sat in the background like, but that's supposed to be me. Like, that's literally, like, I have effectively tied my soul to you, and you've gone and done this. Like, how is she supposed to feel about that? So that's kind of why I feel like that story so deeply affects Hades, is because the fact that he has tied his soul to Persephone. He does love Persephone. And, and when he promised that if you can get out of this cave without turning around, you can have her back.
I will be honest.
Sorry, carry on.
I'll be honest with you. Hades doesn't show up in this.
I know. It sucks. You mentioned that, but it sucks. But, like, anyway, let me finish and then we can carry on. You're probably going to cut all of this out, but it's fine.
Yeah, because you've been going on for like 15 minutes about it.
I haven't been going on for like 15 minutes. I've been going on for like 10. Anyway, so deeply hurts Hades when he turned around was that Hades couldn't just outright kill him like he said he would. He had to punish him because he genuinely believed that this guy truly, deeply, and everlastingly loved his wife, that he punished him not by killing him to be with her, but by living without her.
We can
never have a deep and philosophical conversation with you, can I?
We can watch Hadestown later.
We'll talk about this later. It's not a shame!
Okay, for context, most of the shades are saying is like their final moments and their final thoughts, so that's the reason why it's like repainted so fucking.
Bye, Mom.
Sorry, it's just the way he went. Bye, Mom. It's like he might as well have just gone, bye, bitch.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia. Down in the Underworld.
It only took us 20 minutes to get through that.
Woo! Deep and philosophical questions and conversations. Let's go.
Okay, now here's the Prophet song. Finally.
Where I help you get home, but that's not a world I know. What? I see a song of past romance. I see the sacrifice of man. Nothing. I see your palace covered in red. Faces of men who had long believed you're dead. I see your wife with a man who is haunting, a man with a trail of bodies.
Athena, come get your owl.
Come get the owl.
I see a song of past romance. I see the sacrifice of man. I see portrayals of betrayal and a brother's final stand. No
bro fell off that cliff hard.
I like the fact that the entire song is just him saying, "Yeah, you're gonna end up killing like 106 men,"
A lot of fucking guys.
and he's just like, "What? Who's gonna be covered in blood?" I'm literally reading your fortune, motherfucker.
I'm literally telling you I'm literally saying I'm not telling you how you get home. I'm just telling you that you get home and fuck your wife. But you kill a lot of dudes to do so.
I mean, you end up running into
I killed her!
you end up running into Zeus. There's some sirens. There's Scylla. There's Poseidon again. Yeah, of course. Why are you yelling me? Who? I'm just going to ignore that. Fuck you.
How has everything been turned against us? How did suffering become so endless?
When you fucked with the gods. When you were probably bored. Gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Is the Cyclops struck with guilt when he kills? Is he up in the middle of the night? Or does he end my men to avenge his friend and then sleep knowing he has done him right? When the witch turns men to pigs to protect her nymphs, is she going insane? Or did she learn to be colder when she got older and now she saves them the pain? When a god comes down and makes the fleet drown, is he scared that he's doing something wrong? Or does he keep us in check so we must respect him and now no one dares to piss him off? Does a soldier use a wooden horse to kill sleeping Trojans cause he is vile? Or does he throw away his remorse and save more lives with guile? If I lost my best friend, I lost my mentor, my mom, 500 men gone. This can't go on, I must get to see Penelope and Telemachus. So if we but never know, so what if I'm the monster lurking deep below? I must become the
This motherfucker basically just went and, like, this motherfucker just went and flipped all of his goddamn morals just to get some. What the fuck? No! He's Greek, he's gay, he's probably sleeping with one of the guys on the ship.
Okay, so I have one more bonus one.
Wait, what was. Did his boyfriend die when the Poseidon got angry?
What?
That's what I'm
Oh,
asking. Did his boyfriend die when Poseidon got angry?
so as an April Fool's thing, he basically made this version of that song.
Rah. I am the monster, rah rah rah. I am the monster, I am the monster, I am the monster, rah rah rah.